Emily, hey, how are you doing today, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good. Welcome to Maybe You're Like Me. This is, it's always a good time. And it's always good when I can do this in person with people that are in town, especially when they're cool and talented like you. So
thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, yeah, so welcome. We're happy you're here. And on the podcast, we are talking to people who do amazing things like you, and we're trying to peel back some layers of the onion like Shrek. And maybe we can get to know you a little better. And so I hate to do this to you, but we've got to do it. Who is Emily Plank? So that's like the biggest question in the world.
It's a big question to answer.
Philosophical.
I could get real deep here.
Yeah, pull out your Socrates. What do you got?
My name is Emily Plank. I am a photographer and an artist. I am a born and raised Lakelander. Both of my parents are born and raised Lakelanders. So lots of family here. I can usually play the 1 degree of separation. You may know somebody I'm related to with just about anybody I meet. I know I can do that with you.
Absolutely, you can.
And yeah.
All right. So, number one, you texted me the other day when we were trying to schedule, like, oh, I know exactly where you record because my cousins hang out there. And I'm like, time out, what? And
yes.
So your cousins are the Stevens. It's just,
yes.
It's crazy how it feels small world, but Lakeland's a small, big town, small
town.
Very,
very small world. The day you had asked me to be on the podcast or either the day after, one of the two, I ran into them and I was like, oh, I'm going to be like hanging out at your church like soon. And she, and I like mentioned me being at your wedding. And she goes, did you know that we weren't there? She was like, we were in New York.
Get
or
it
something
together.
Like that.
Oh,
I know. She's like, they're our best friends in the world. And she's like, we weren't there. She goes, I can't remember why, but yes.
All right. So for those of you who are filling in some gaps, Emily's a photographer, and apparently one of her very first weddings she ever shot was my wife and I's wedding, which I didn't know, but that's super cool.
I was like third shooter. When I say shot, I had my camera with me. I was more like observing the lady in charge, which is the infamous Tina Sargent.
Yeah, Tina Sargent is one of the most amazing photographers in Central Florida.
Incredible.
Florida, the United States,
yes.
America, the world. She's the real deal. And yeah, that's all right. So let's just go off on a tangent already. I think it's so fun. Like, I've lived in Lakeland now for the last 20-ish years. And it's really cool that like consolidation of amazingly talented people in Lakeland.
It's insane.
And like even people that like have lived in Lakeland and are passing through, but there's a bunch of talented people, and one of them happens to be you. Aww. And so I'm so honored that you would stop by and do this podcast. It's really cool just that like we've got such a cool community of people that do amazing things. All right. So you mentioned that you are a photographer, and that's where I initially kind of knew you from. But then it's been cool to see your kind of transformation, and you started heading into some art stuff too. So what kind of art are we talking here?
I would say the pandemic really forced my hand, which I graduated from UF. I actually have my degree in drawing and painting.
Oh, wow.
And photography kind of fell out of that because it's kind of a more commercial, more easier way, I guess, to choose a career path. But the pandemic kind of forced my hand to be like, okay, I had people contact me being like, okay, I've been staring at this blank wall in my house. I need you to do something for me. Because I would dabble here and there and I would post about like my artwork on social media. And then it just kind of snowballed from a couple different projects. I had a watercolor project with a stationery store that's downtown.
That's cool.
So I've got like a stationery line down there that I forget that I often have. And then it's just become this, what can I try next?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
People like you, you make me angry. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like I understand a little bit of photography, a little bit of video and that kind of stuff, but people that can actually like put pen or like paintbrush to paper or canvas and actually make something, you make me sick. How dare you? And like you've even started like branching out into cool, like you're painting dresses now and boots and all sorts of cool stuff.
I will paint on anything. Yeah. That's kind of like my big tagline. Like, I will try anything. I have someone that's like, will you paint on my purse? I'm like, so long as it sticks, I think I can do it. But the dress thing has been a cool thing to see evolve.
Yeah, that's like, I never in a million years, like there's stuff.
I didn't either.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see art or you'll see things that I'm like, I never, ever, ever would have thought of that in a million years. Sometimes there's art and it's like a blank canvas with like a blue dot in the middle. I'm like, I could have done that one. But the things that you do, like I never would have thought to paint on a dress. That's really cool. And like the way they turn out with those like beautiful floral designs and things you do. Again, you make me sick. How dare you? People like you are the best. Okay, so the podcast is Maybe You're Like Me. And so we've already talked a little bit about it, but like if somebody was just following you on Instagram or just saw you from a distance, like who is the filtered version of Emily? Because if we're going to get past the filtered version, let's just start with it. That's the fun part.
Right.
So what's your highlight reel? Who is like super cool Emily Plank?
Oh my goodness. I know I had to like look at my own social media to be like, what am I putting out there? And I saw a lot of florals.
Okay.
I saw a lot of my friends.
Okay.
All the different like fun adventures I do with them.
Yeah.
A lot of my dog Flynn. Obviously like alliteration, like friends, florals, Flynn.
Oh, look at you. The 3 F's of Emily.
3 F's of Emily. Like everything kind of comes back to florals with like my artwork. So that is a prevalent theme on there.
If you are listening instead of watching this on YouTube, Emily's wearing the brightest.
I had to.
Do people say blouse anymore? Or is that a shirt?
I would say blouse.
Ooh, a blouse.
Yeah, it's a blouse.
But that has more colors in it than I've ever worn in my entire life.
And I almost wore a black top and I was like, no.
I am as monochromatic as I can be most of the time. So
I shift back and forth because I think the wedding industry, being a photographer, that's such like the stigma is to be like in all black. And I felt like when I went to weddings, I would stick out like a sore thumb. So I started asking like the color schemes and I want to blend in. I don't want to stick out on video when I'm like moving throughout. So I started dressing a lot of color in the past couple of years.
Look at you.
I'm trying.
It's so colorful. You got all your florals and your friends and your
Flynn.
I was like, was it Fuffy? Like instead of puppy? I couldn't figure it out, but
a lot of people think it's either Finn, but it's Flynn, like Flynn Rider from Tangled.
Tangled? That's a good Disney movie.
Never actually seen it.
Well, never mind then.
That was the name he came with, and I couldn't change it.
Oh, that's cute.
He just fit. It was perfect.
That's fun.
Understood he's bringing the smolder. I understood that from a meme, and I was like, okay, you fit this.
Yeah. Okay, so that kind of like talking about Tangle, talking about Disney, talking about stuff, that actually takes us to the first question in the first date round. And you've listened to the podcast, you know what's going on. But you just want to, if you're on a first date, you want to ask good questions.
Right.
If you've ever been on a first date and it's like, do you like the beach? Yes, I like the beach.
Let's get past that. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll ask a couple of questions, maybe get to know you a little bit better. Even though we both live in the same town and we've got like half of 1 degree of separation between the two of us. I don't know you super, super well. And so this will be a fun first date, getting to know you a little bit for you and I too. So, all right. So if you could hang out with any cartoon character, I know this is weird, but if you could hang out with any cartoon character in real life, what cartoon character are you hanging out with and why?
Thought about this for so long because I really didn't consume a lot of cartoons when I was little. Like I had to Google like early 90s cartoons. What was I actually consuming?
Okay.
And it was like Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Doug.
Okay.
I was like, do I really want to hang out like with babies or middle schoolers or high schoolers? No.
I got you. Okay.
But then I had a memory that I went and saw the second Space Jam.
Okay.
And I was like Bugs Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
Like just the energy, the fun, the situations, the laughter, like all of the things about him. I was like him.
Okay. So if you're hanging out with Bugs Bunny, are you trying to do it like the way they do it in Space Jam, where you're also a cartoon and you can't be hurt?
Ooh. Yes. 100% yes.
I recently,
that's a choice.
Yeah. I recently introduced our boys to like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry and all that stuff. And all that stuff, those guys are just classics.
They are.
Like everything they do is timeless. And if you like somebody getting blown up with dynamite, you're going to be a fan.
I know. I almost had the answer of hanging out with like the Roadrunner to understand why. I just want to understand why.
Or maybe even like Wile E. Coyote. Like,
yes.
Why are you still chasing this guy? Or why is still messing with the coyote? Get it together, guys.
I know.
Yeah. On mine, have you ever seen the movie A Goofy Movie?
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right. So my choice was I want to hang out with Powerline.
Okay.
I bring up a Goofy movie too much at this point. Like Disney owes me like royalties or something for sending people to this movie, but he just seems like the coolest rock star. And when Max gets on the stage at the end of the movie and gets to dance, and Powerline doesn't even have any lines. All he does is sing, but I just want to hang out with him. He seems so cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that movie.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw a TikTok the other day that said they were doing the dance from the movie. Yes.
It's very important. It is a cornerstone in my life. It's very important to me. So we're going to go ahead and make a quick list of things that after this podcast you need to do. Number one, watch a Goofy movie again.
I will refresh that. Yes.
Yeah, it's very important for your life. So we've got conflicting studios, though. You're rocking Warner Brother. I'm rocking Disney.
I do love Disney, though.
Yeah, who doesn't?
We live in Lakeland.
That's true.
I used to say on a good day 45 minutes. Now on a good day it's like an hour and a half.
You're not wrong.
Like, what happened?
Traffic is crazy. Let's not bring the mood down, okay?
Let's
not talk about
sensitive things.
All right. So, would you consider yourself a person? That was a fantastic answer, number one. Thank you for being honest with your cartoon choice. I feel like I know you a little better now. But okay, are you a person who does traditions? Do you enjoy tradition things?
I do a lot.
Yeah.
It's especially around Christmas time.
Okay.
That's big.
If you had to pick, if you got to choose, what's your favorite tradition? Is this a tough one for you?
The whole month of December. And honestly, it starts like a little bit before.
Okay, so what's going on in December? Give me the tradition.
So usually, like, my mother has the routine of decorating the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it used to be the weekend after Thanksgiving. Now I've kind of pushed her to do it like the day after Thanksgiving. And in more recent years, like before Thanksgiving.
Why not?
Why not?
Live your best life.
Why not?
Yeah.
She just always made the house so magical growing up with all the decorations. Like getting to do that with her has been a fun tradition.
For sure.
But I think just the most special is, speaking of breakfast, this is called back to before we were recording.
Yeah.
On Christmas morning, we only get this breakfast on Christmas morning.
Whoa.
And it is biscuits with chocolate gravy and sausage. Uh-huh.
All right. So chocolate gravy, walk me through that, because in my brain, chocolate gravy is just melted chocolate. Is that more or less what it is?
You're essentially right. But I mean, there's a couple more ingredients in it to make it stay a liquid, so to speak. It eventually turns into fudge when it completely cools down.
This is a win-win.
Oh, you need a nap after you eat it.
That's why it's good on Christmas morning.
So good.
What else you got going on? So biscuits with chocolate gravy.
Yes.
That I just went into a food coma thinking about it. That sounds fantastic.
We sometimes get it again, like on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, if there's like, some leftover or just kind of like it's fresh on our minds. We need it one more time before we have to wait another 12 months for it.
Yeah. My wife is a lot like you. She's always trying to like push Christmas further and further. And if she could.
I'm November 1st. I'm like, Halloween, bye-bye. Hello, Merry Christmas.
Sorry, Thanksgiving. You get a day in the middle there somewhere. We'll celebrate your thankfulness. But yeah, no, we're big Christmas people too. And the thing that we started kind of on accident was one of our first Christmases dating, or we were dating for our first Christmas, and we made Christmas cookies together, sugar cookies. And in the middle of it, just being dumb, I threw flour on her, and then she threw, and it turned into this little flour fight. And so ever since then, every year when we make Christmas cookies and sugar cookies,
into a flour fight?
We have a flour fight.
Oh my gosh!
And so it's real cute and real messy.
I was like, "How's the cleanup?"
It's actually not too bad. So whenever we post it, like I get like messages, not from like people like, "Oh, this is cute, this is great." It's messages from moms like they're like, "My anxiety is to a 10 right now.
Right?
What's the cleanup like on this?" And it's not that bad. So it's a little sweeping, and like we don't go like fistfuls. If we let our boys choose, it would be fistfuls. And
like, we got to take this outside, guys.
Yeah. I've done that too. That's a lot of fun. But no, we're trying to keep the kitchen in at least a little bit of the semblance of it.
Fun.
It's super fun. And the boys love it every year. We love it every year. So, and I like it that it started organically. It was just like, oh, this was fun. And so
just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so I feel like, especially at Christmas time, I work in a church, and so like Christmas is a super busy season. It's busy for everybody.
It's everything.
But like I'm like it that we got that. Like it's a 30-minute thing, but it's super fun. So you got to love a good tradition.
Yes.
And
now I want food.
I don't know if I know your mom, but I am going to make an introduction because apparently we are best friends already because we both live in Lakeland. And I am going to I'm going to get myself some chocolate gravy. It's going to happen.
We can make that happen.
Yes. Do I have to be at your guys' house on Christmas morning?
No, I think we can make some instructions.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
Actually, everybody listening out there, let's go ahead and start a write-in campaign to Emily's mom. So go to Twitter and at Emily's mom. We want chocolate gravy. So
I was like, if you can still find it, the church that I grew up in did a cookbook, and the recipe is in that.
Oh, man.
Yes.
All right. So all of our internet detectives get on that. Go to at Emily's mom's former church and find that cookbook. Oh, man. All right. Emily, that was a great first date round. It's always a good time getting to find out people's traditions.
Yes.
And I will get chocolate gravy.
We'll make that happen. It's on the internet now.
Listen, there's going to be like a side podcast where it's me and your mom. We're both wearing aprons and we're both making chocolate gravy together.
It's a process. It takes like 30 to 45 minutes in the morning. Like you have to stand and constantly stir it.
All right. I don't know if I'm there for the patient side of that. Have you seen
the smell?
Oh, okay. I'm back in the that there's a little robot thing that you put in a pan and like it's like vibrates or jiggles or something, and it like constantly stirs the pot for you.
Ooh.
That is the future. So
that is the future.
If you want to add AI into your chocolate gravy, into your Christmas traditions, okay, we'll keep it simple. And
like we rotate. It's like it'll go from like me to my mom to my dad, and like so on and so forth. Because someone's cooking the sausage, someone's making the biscuits. Like you got to it's a whole team effort.
I like this for you guys, and I can't wait to be there. Christmas morning, Christmas jammies. It's going to be great. So yeah, that was a great first date round. And so the next round is the slow round.
Right.
These are questions that are maybe a little layer or two lower than if you like breakfast, because everybody, you know what? I have a friend who like we've been friends for years, and like we'll do like hangout nights. And 1 year out of the blue, he just goes, "Guys, I hate breakfast for dinner." And I felt so betrayed.
You're like, oh.
Yeah. And I was like, how do you not like the best thing in the world? And he doesn't. So
that's like when I tell people that I don't like cereal. I'm like, I love breakfast, but I don't like cereal.
Oh no.
I know. It's a weird thing. Like, I don't know.
See, I feel like this should have come out in the traditions round earlier. I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't feel betrayed by you.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm still all of the other things, pancakes, waffles, all of the things.
A life goal of mine is I never want to be that guy who's like, you don't like this. And like, so my deal is this, that's just more for me. That's more frosted flakes for me.
There
so
you go.
I could
supply and demand.
Yeah. So you enjoy your biscuits and I will enjoy all the cereal. So we figured it out. All right. So back to the slow round. Quit distracting me, ma'am. How dare you? All right. So we're going to do a quick fill in the blank here. And this one, it's let's talk. So fill in the blank. In general, I worry too much about blank.
Everything.
Oh no.
I mean, I used to be a big worrier. I think I'm an overthinker. So I just think about everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, take like the example of you asking me to be on here. What did I do? I listened to like 15 episodes.
Well, luckily there's only like 15 episodes. So
you have way more than that.
We're getting there.
But just, I don't know. I have to like think about things and understand things before I like go and do them. I have a hard time just walking out and doing something.
So spontaneity is not your
no.
your life
Freaks
plan.
Me out. Freaks me out. Some things I can like go and do if I understand like the situation's safe. Like a year ago, I did skiing for the first time.
Okay.
And I like knew that there was an instructor. He was going to keep me safe. He told me what to do. And I was like, natural. And I was like, let's go down the mountain. Like that was fine. And that was fun. But I typically am a worrier about everything.
Oh no.
What about you?
So mine are, I'm not a huge worrier. I am a jump first, think about it in a minute.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's like ADHD or if that's just a lack of concern, but yeah, I'm not a huge worrier, but I think my worries tend to be more social. Like it might sound like a middle school answer, but like I wonder and worry what people think about me, you know? And so,
Okay.
and so it leads me to be very cautious, not cautious, but like I'm thinking about how I'm presenting myself all the time. And so, and then I do something dumb like start a podcast. And so, yeah, I think it's a natural thing to just like, I want to control the narrative on me for everybody else. And so I'm worried that I'm not giving all the right cues for people to follow along. And I wonder if like interactions are genuine. Does that make any sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
And so, yeah, I think so. Again, like the point of this podcast is I don't want people when they leave listening to an episode to feel like they just heard about a stranger. But I hope that when you're listening to this, that you leave and you feel a little less alone. And so,
absolutely, I think every episode I've had like a really good takeaway, little nugget that I've like gotten.
Yeah, and so like I see people like you and you because of the work you do and like the things that you put online, like you got your 3 Fs out there, and I'm like, this girl's got it all together, you know?
Oh no.
And so like she makes amazing art. She's got great friends, and you guys do really cool stuff. And she's got a cute dog. And so yeah, in my brain, you would never worry about anything, you know?
But we worry about all the things all the time. But you do just kind of, I'm an overthinker. So I have thought like months down the road of like, what is the end of the year going to look like? And what's the next step in my career? What is the next thing I'm going to create?
Yeah.
And I think there is sometimes worry about like, what if I don't have anything?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have to sit and think a lot about like, what is it I'm going to create? What is it going to look like?
Yeah.
And then what are people going to think about it?
Yeah.
So I also do share that, like, what are people thinking about me? And sometimes I don't want to know. Like, I don't ask, like, oh, what do you think of this? Because I don't necessarily want to know. Like, I'll put it in a shop, and if somebody buys it, they buy it. And
there you go. For the longest time, I worked with my little brother, and we worked in the same church together. And so I would make a video or do like a creative project, and I'd be like, or I'd be in the middle of it. Like, do you ever show people your work in the middle of it?
I try not to.
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible experience. So I would ask me like, hey, what do you think of this? Like, and I just want like, oh yeah, that's great. Keep going.
Right.
But instead he's like, oh, here's some notes. And I'm like, no, we're not at notes yet.
No. I don't actually want your opinion.
I don't want your opinion. I want you to tell me this is great and to keep going forward and that it's going to be the best thing ever.
Yes.
And it's not super helpful. Can I tell you something on worry I heard a long time ago that really kind of changed my perspective on things? And, it changed my relationship with my wife. It changed a lot of things, but, in our relationship, Katrina is, more the worrier. And,
okay.
But there was this study, it was done, I don't know by who or where, so this might be totally fake. No one knows for sure. But they in the jungles somewhere they took a group of monkeys, and the monkeys that were like the alert monkeys, and they were the ones who were worried about like safety.
Okay.
Like so they'd be the ones who would alert like if a lion was coming or a predator was coming. So they took all those monkeys out of the thing just to see how the other monkeys would thrive if they could just go and do things. And so they took them out of the little group of monkeys, and they came back like 2 or 3 months later, maybe 6 months later, and all the other monkeys were dead.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they were gone. They were missing. We don't know where they went. They weren't dead.
I am definitely an alert monkey. I am the one that when we go to like a concert, I'm worried about everyone. I'm like, where is everybody? Are all the ducks behind me?
Yeah.
Like,
but the thing that
that's
like,
me.
Yeah. So actually I started calling my wife my worry monkey because, the thing is, like, even people like you that like you're constantly on alert, you're constantly worrying about things. We need people like you.
True.
Because then there's people like me that are like halfway in the crowd, eating a churro that I got from just the ground. And it's like, we need people like you to protect us.
What birth order are you?
I'm in the middle. So
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I got to do things to get attention. Yes. So I'm going to jump
an only
off
child,
something.
so I can be all three, like youngest, middle, oldest, but typically,
No, I am very much out there just doing stuff. So all that to say, if you ever feel like the worry side of you is a bad thing, it's not. It's actually a superpower, and us non-worry monkeys need you. So thank you for being you.
Non-worry monkey.
Yeah, no, yeah. So thank you, all you worry monkeys out there. If you're a worrier and you are keeping spastic people alive, thank you. We need you. All right, so that one, like if we're on a scale of like happy to sad, worry, and like all the sad stuff's
Right.
over there, we're going the other way here.
Okay.
So when was the last time you just felt unbridled joy? Like what was something that just made you so incredibly happy? Not incredibly happy. Yeah.
I don't know. I try to seek joy like daily. Like there's just so much to be joyful about in life. I think in general, I'm a very like positive person, even though I am a worrier.
Yeah.
But I think, oh my goodness. So with the painted dresses, I had a friend who was in charge of putting on a fashion show at our local art museum.
Cool.
And she wanted to feature some of them. And so I gave her some of the dresses and I was coming to the event. I was so excited to see them walk a runway. And she called me at like 5:00. Show started at 7. And she goes, "So none of the models fit?" Because, of course, professional models, 6 foot tall, size 0, none of them fit the dresses.
Oh, no.
They were like, "You have to walk."
Oh,
So, again, immediate panic and worry.
absolutely not.
Right? I was like, "Oh, no." And so when I got there, she goes, "Either you wear them or they don't get seen." And I was like, "Okay, you've got to do this." And so, like, I was very, very nervous, but the moment you hit, like, the runway and you hear your friends cheering for you, it was just so much fun.
Oh, that is so
Like, so
cool.
much fun. Like, I loved that perspective because I was at the wedding of my first painted dress bride. So
Oh,
I got to watch her walk in. So now that I felt what she was feeling, plus you're marrying your best friend that day,
sure.
let's add that layer on. But just like her walking in that dress, like the gasps, everything, like those are 2 really big moments for me in like the last year.
That's so cool. Yeah, I've never been asked to model anything, so I'm so excited for you that you got to
It's
do
still
that.
nerve-wracking.
If you're not watching, she's kind of shaking right now
A
just
little
thinking
bit,
about it.
no.
Yeah, no, that is so cool that I like that happy accident for you that's so cool that you got to wear your own dress. And like I think a lot of times there is, especially with creative work, like you make something and you might get to see people's reactions
Oh my
to it.
gosh, yes.
But for you to get to firsthand experience people loving what you made on you,
Right.
that's
It's a
real
whole
deal.
it's a whole nother level because I wore one of the dresses to an event a couple weeks prior, so I got to kind of see, like, how the reception was because it's like, I'll paint this and I'll give this to someone, and I have no idea how it went.
Mhm.
Like, they can tell me,
Yeah.
but it's like when you deliver someone their wedding photos, like, I'm not there when you open that email and click
Mhm.
that link and view them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get to experience that.
Yeah.
Now this is just, like, a whole nother level, and,
Mhm.
like, the live wedding painting
Yeah.
as well as, like, fulfills that of, like,
Mhm.
they're watching me do this,
Yeah.
which is just another layer.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah.
so that like I'm excited for you and I was nowhere near any of these things happening. But that's so cool that like yeah, the creative world is like it's tricky because you put your heart and soul into things sometimes and you don't get to see the experience or like
Correct.
feel the experience that the people feel. And so that's such a unique cool experience that you got. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you, thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah, mine are way less cool than that. But I recently, like, I just got out of a really busy season, and
Mhm.
so it's been a little bit more time at home with my boys, and my boys are at
Aw.
such fun ages, and they're totally bonkers. And so like out of nowhere, my 5-year-old will just start dancing, and it's like
I
these
love
weird
it.
booty dances, and they like belly laugh, and
There's
then
just, like, no shame at that age, and
mhm,
there's no sense of, like, that's just who they are.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and so that's like a pretty constant like source of joy in my life. And the other one, like it was just I don't know what it was, but in the moment it was the funniest thing in the world. We were at our friend's house and my buddy started singing the Star Spangled Banner and like he kept interrupting my wife and his wife as they were talking, just belting out the Star Spangled Banner. I don't know why, but in the moment, it just got me so funny. And like, he kept doing it. Like, I like a good repeat joke where it's like, it just keeps building and building and building.
Right.
And so he's built up this dumb joke of the Star Spangled Banner. And then he leaves the room for a minute and like, he's just going to the restroom or something, comes back wearing an American flag shirt with his daughter's karaoke machine with the reverb turned all the way up and the volume all the way up.
I love it.
And then just like it was America time. And I don't know why.
Felt patriotic.
I just felt so much pride for my country. And no, but it was just the dumbest thing. And I like thinking about it now, like I'm almost like, I want to just bust out laughing. Like, I think I spit out water that night. I definitely cried laughing. And
those are the best.
Oh my gosh. Just thinking about it, so if I hear the Star Spangled Banner now, like
you're like, I am patriotic, but I'm also
like, I'm biting my lip because I'm just thinking about my buddy singing the Star Spangled Banner. And so like people like rank the Star Spangled Banner, like the Whitney Houston one was great, or there's a Marvin Gaye one that's awesome, or the Jimi Hendrix on the guitar.
Yes.
Yeah, no, not me. My buddy Bo singing that, and his daughter's the karaoke machine. Oh my gosh, destroyed me. And I'm gonna hold on to that for a while. So
it's a core memory.
Yeah, no, it's buried in there. Another Disney movie. You liar, you do listen to core memories all from Inside Out. She didn't even know it.
I didn't even know it.
Yeah, there you go. You figured it out.
TikTok.
Oh, thank you, TikTok.
You're welcome.
There's so much on that app.
It's like all these things and references I don't understand. Like someone posted something about the character Jasper and they're like, if you know, you know. And I was like, I've got a deep dive. And who is this? You can't explain. You just have to go experience.
No, you don't. Don't waste your time on Jasper the doll. It's not worth it. All right. But yeah, okay. So the next question is this. It's a question we ask everybody, and it could be as big as you're learning a new way to pop your knuckles. I mean, small as a new way to pop your knuckles, or big as you're learning the mysteries of the universe. But what's something you're learning right now?
Ooh, there's a lot of learning in my limitations right now.
Yeah.
So it's like my limitations within art, my limitations within like my physical like wellness, so to speak. Like I'm starting to see bouts of exhaustion more frequently. And I'm like, is this just getting older? Or am I just like burning the candle at both ends and I need to like dial it back a little bit?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot within my trade because there's a lot that I'm trying to learn of like, can you paint on this type of surface? Like the cowboy boots was like a whole new thing. And how did they wear and tear for that night?
Yeah.
So I've already learned something from the first pair. So I learning is a daily experience for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like I'm not old by any stretch of the imagination. Neither are you, but it's fun like figuring out like in each different like phase and step of life, like this is like I need to start saying yes to some things, and there's also some stuff that I normally would have said yes to, but I need to start saying no to this for my sake and for my family's sake, for everybody's sake around me. Even today, I think you posted online that you're like, I just had a crazy weekend of doing so many things. So if you emailed me in the last couple of days, you might hear from me tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. So
maybe tomorrow. That is also true.
Yeah. I like it that you've like you recognize those things in yourself, and you're learning to give yourself a little grace and a little time and a little space when you need it too. So that's cool.
Yes. I've definitely learned that like I am me and I experience my perspective of life, and that's who I need to, please and make happy all day, every day. I'm not searching to, please others constantly.
Yeah.
Like by answering in a whim.
Yeah.
Of like, I need to rest today. Like I needed to clean and do laundry and put food in my fridge because it's been a lot of takeout in the last week. And
I feel you.
Recharge my batteries, and then tomorrow I'm going to put all the effort into all the people.
Yeah. No, that's awesome that you've got that figured out for yourself. And or if you don't have it figured out yet, you're learning.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And have you got it figured out yet?
No.
Dang it. Yeah, me either. If you ever figure it out, please come back on and just like give us the bullet points on how to do it too. All right. So we are in the last round here. It's my favorite round. It's the common ground round. It's where we can see if maybe you and I are a little bit alike. We've already established that we are different kinds of monkeys, and that's okay.
Yes. I'm a worry monkey.
I'm an orangutan. You got your 3x5s and your marker there. All right. So, let's see if maybe you and I are alike. Here we go. You ready for this?
Yes.
All right. Are you an early bird or a night owl? I know this one for myself off the bat. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I put night owl. You put night owl.
Yes.
Okay, when is normal bedtime for you?
Ooh, lately it's been anywhere between like 10 o'clock and midnight, which I used to be an early bird. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. to work out.
Whew.
I don't know what happened.
You know the gyms are open later than that, right? You don't have to go that early. It's not worth it.
That's just when I don't know. I used to go to the gym at like 5 a.m., come home, like walk the lake, and then take a shower and go to bed for like another hour. And then wake up and it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Now, that's kind of funny because like, especially in creative jobs, so like if you're doing a wedding or shooting a wedding, you're going to be out late. So that may have reset your clock a little bit.
A little bit. I think a lot of the things over the past couple months have reset my clock to be like, okay, nope, sorry, you're a night owl right now. But like, I have to like decompress after a wedding. So like once I get done socializing, I need like an hour or two to just come down from all of it.
I feel you. What does that look like for you? Is that you get home?
It's typically because I'm such a consumer of other creators' contents. Like I told you, I'm a big podcast listener. So it could be sitting there listening to a podcast. I like the Try Guys. I've been following them since college.
Okay.
And so it's maybe looking at like their latest video. I love their series about like cooking without a recipe.
Okay.
And it's just like decompressing. I also follow a guy on YouTube who does car detailing. It is the most soothing lull to sleep ever.
Have you ever watched videos? It's in the same vein, videos of people cleaning rugs.
Yes. Yes, on like TikTok or it'll come up. But
just anywhere. Like
it's so satisfying. So satisfying.
Like they'll walk in, like they'll roll out a rug and the thing is black. And then by the end, it's like this, clean. Like beautiful, like looks like your shirt, beautiful colors. And then it's like, where did that come from? Or those car detailing things. I'm not a clean person, like, or I'm not a dirty person, but I'm not like I don't know how you get your car as dirty as some of those people.
Same.
It's ridiculous.
Same. Some like it's kids, like the one I watched last night because I needed like a little bit of decompression after I did a wedding painting. And the car hadn't been cleaned in like 8 years. And I was like, how do you know?
No, that stresses me out a little bit. And I'm not like a clean freak at all. And that it's just like, there's like a dead squirrel under the driver's seat and stuff. It's like, I don't know how that happened. That's okay. We got off on a very weird tangent. If like, especially after an event. All right. Do you ever do this? Sorry, this is like a complete tangent too. So after an event, it's usually one of the only places that's open. Do you ever find yourself in a Waffle House?
Ooh, a couple times a year.
Yeah.
A couple times a year. Another tangent. So the only place that was open after like Friday night football games, because that's what you did growing up here, was you went to the Friday night football game with Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake was open till like 1 a.m. So that is quite frequently where we would end up.
There you go. Yeah, that's for me, like especially like the church work that I do, a lot of it's like production based. So like you're setting up and tearing down big sound systems. And so like for me, it was like, I'd end up at like a Burger King or at like, you can't go wrong with like a 2 a.m. Waffle House. That's
so good.
Just get some grease in my body.
Yes.
And then I'll lull into that coma, or maybe your mom's chocolate gravy. Oh my God. Maybe. All right, let's keep this going. All right, I think I know this answer for you.
Okay.
And I think we're going to be different on this one.
Okay.
If you're in the car, would you rather listen to country or classical? People always say they like all music except for country and classical. So this was like I don't know if this is the worst of two worlds for you or not.
And define classical.
We're talking Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, or classic rock. No, just kidding. We're talking classical.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I put classical. You put country.
I did.
I knew you were going country. You're a little bit of a Swiftie, and Taylor Swift is country. So
I mean, but fun fact, in high school, I did have a CD that was Best of Bach. I
ooh,
played the violin, and
okay.
so my music teacher was like, it helps to listen
Mm-hmm.
to that to get rhythm and
Mm-hmm.
you can hear performance and the
Mm-hmm.
mood shift and change and whatnot. So there's a time and place for me for classical, but
Yeah.
all in all, in the car,
Mm-hmm.
country, because I'm going to sing along.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do country. I've tried so hard. It's just not for me, and that's okay.
It's okay. I
But
go through seasons where I'm like, I will not consume any of it.
mm-hmm.
But I think Swifties can
Mm,
she's her own.
she's her own brand.
She's her own thing.
All right, I take this back. There's a few country artists, and like there's like a span or like a spectrum in country music. Like there's like twangy country music, and then there's
Yes.
like pop country music.
Right.
And I might fall in somewhere in the middle of that stuff.
Okay.
So like a Casey Musgraves, I think she's
Oh,
considered.
yes.
Casey's great. She's a
more
great
like,
artist.
yes. I think she's considered more of that like classical country.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like the 2000s hit and my grandfather was like, this is not country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Not a fan.
Yes. Like, what is it? What's Coal Miner's Daughter? Who is that? Oh, my mom's gonna. It's Loretta Lynn.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's country to like my
Okay.
grandparents.
Yeah, for sure.
And Casey kind of like is that storyteller vibe.
I can't. That's good music. You can't hate on good music. But like for myself, so like but the classical side of things, if I had my choice and I'm like working or whatever, like a good classical or like a movie soundtrack or something like that.
Ooh. What's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Oh man, I could play this game for a very long time. There's a lot of them. So for like if I'm like working on a computer or a video, like The Social Network was a really good soundtrack.
Ooh, okay.
If I'm trying to like get in the zone, that's the zone.
Right.
Like the Tron soundtrack was really good. That was they were Daft Punk.
Okay.
That's
I know
real
that
good.
vibe. Yes.
Yeah. And or have you ever seen the movie Moneyball?
I know what you're talking about, but no.
All right,
I have a lot of homework from this podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, earlier, what was the thing from earlier? Oh, you need to watch a Goofy movie and then Moneyball. There's a song and like people know it as the Moneyball song, but it's a song by a band called This Will Destroy You. And it's so stinking pretty. So on your list also is listen to This Will Destroy You.
Okay.
The song is called The Mighty Rio Grande. So everybody listening, that is, they're actually our sponsors today. So thank you to This Will Destroy You for that. But it's just all like instrumental stuff. Actually, I've got some friends that they just released an album of post rock. The band's called Half Pace. And so like, it's just like Midwestern post rock guitar-y music.
Nice.
You're like, I have no idea what he's talking about right now.
Kind of a little bit.
Like you triggered like a nerdy Mike talking about
like,
music
this is
thing.
A whole podcast.
Yeah, I could talk about this stuff for a very long time. So how dare you?
I'm very sorry.
How dare you ask questions on my podcast? All right, let's talk health foods here. Would you rather eat broccoli or green beans? These are the safest of the vegetables and the only two that I can get my kids to eat.
That's funny.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I put green beans. You put green beans.
I did.
Look at you. All right, so we are we're 2 for 3 right now. I feel good about that. Any affinity for green beans, or it's just the lesser of two evils there?
I know this is going to be my nerdy side that I've been going through, like we talked about, like health and limitations and whatnot, and how like food fuels you. I've had a lot of experience with cutting out food that causes inflammation, and broccoli causes inflammation. Green beans are safe there.
I've been lied to. I was told that broccoli was good for me.
I mean, it is, yes, to a certain extent, but yeah, it causes inflammation.
Well, good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna quit eating broccoli.
I'm not a health expert.
Everybody take this medical advice from Emily.
Like, I'm not a medical expert. I'm not a nutritionist.
You heard it here first, folks. Broccoli is poison. But yeah, we've got this dumb joke between my wife and I that I like if we make a can of green beans with dinner. I love green beans.
I love green beans. They taste like bacon most of the time. Like, what's not to like?
If you make it with bacon or bacon grease, of course it does. But I love them, and like they're food. And so for her, we made a dinner one time, and I took all the green beans, but like 7 of them And she was like, oh, great. Thank you for saving me seven green beans. Yeah. So every now and again, like I'll empty the pot out, but just like 2 and be like, there you go, babe, enjoy them. And she gets mad at me. All right. Again, so this is another one for you. I think I know your answer. Just because you're cooler than me. But here we go. When it comes to clothing, are you going for fashion or function? Oh no. Here we go. I put I put function. You put fashion. All right, we're 50% now. You and me. Are you a big fashion fan?
I mean, in my day to day, it's function. I am in like running shorts and big t-shirts. I want to be as comfortable as possible because I'm painting. Like I don't want anything restrictive. I need to be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
But like out in the world and public, yes.
She likes to put her best foot forward when you're out and about. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I am. I have the hardest time trying to figure out anything fashion. I'm always asking my wife, I'm like, are these dad shoes? Do I look like a dad right now?
You need to listen to Retail Therapy.
I will. I don't know what that is, but I will.
It's hosted by probably one of my favorite podcasters. Like he's all within this one.
Present company excluded?
Yes.
Obviously. Okay, yeah, just making sure.
And they just kind of go through like the world of fashion for people who don't know about the world of fashion.
Well, there you have it.
And that's, I like appreciate it so much. I've learned about so many different brands. I was like, oh, and like one's a dad of a 2-year-old. He's like, this is not my like arena to live in, but I love it.
That's cool.
So
yeah, I need to get on that. People are more happy when I'm covering more of myself. So I guess I need to get in on some of that. So, yeah, I tried to wear a tube top and it didn't work out.
Oh, no.
Nobody was happy. I was kicked out of that JCPenney's. Oh, no. Moving on. All right. So this is the last one here. And this is a weird one. Every now and again, I'll Google like, what's fun, this or that questions. And I got this one on the internet and it made me laugh. And so I thought I would ask you. Here we go. Would you rather wear swim goggles to a first date or a cape to work?
Okay.
The face she just made at me was totally worth asking this question. Wear swim goggles to a first date or a cape to work? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. I put cape. You put cape. I think you could get away with wearing a cape at work, being all artsy.
True. I don't actually own like a fashion cape, but I've wanted one.
Again, so more homework. Let's work on getting a fashion cape. You can paint on it and everything.
Very true.
Yeah.
Next idea.
I love it. Everybody is here for it. Yeah, fashion cape. You didn't want to go goggles? Why not?
I don't know. I just I like to see well. I feel like that would like impair and just like
maybe that would make the first date better though.
Oh man.
Maybe you're getting catfished and that's
Cut
the only
one of the senses out.
Yeah, that might help you out immensely. I think that's a good idea. So
maybe
that should be a Netflix TV show. Swim goggle first date. Both sets wearing swim goggles.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like Love is Blind or one of those.
Wild Beast. Where they wore the like have you seen that? Like the special makeup?
Yeah,
they were like pandas or whatever they wanted to be.
Yeah, I saw the like when you stop on Netflix for long enough, it plays you. Yes. And I was like, I'm out. I'm good. Mm-mm. Not for me.
I could not even make it through the snippet. No, I was like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
Pass.
So we agree on that though. So
yes,
we'll count that as an agreement. We're a little bit alike on that. So I'm happy that we closed out the round on a high note.
Yes.
And we both went capes too. So we're basically the same person. Basically. Yeah, 3 out of 5 ain't bad. All right. So maybe today there's people that they're hearing about you for the first time and they want to check out your art or get to see Flynn or any of that stuff. If people want to follow along and get to know you better or see your art and buy all the paintings and have you shoot all the weddings, where can people get to follow you and get to know you a little bit better?
I'm at Emily Plank on Instagram. I just went down to one Instagram a little less than a year ago, and it was the best decision I ever made. I used to have one for Flynn, one for photography, one for my personal life, one for art. And I was like, this is too much. So it's just all in one nice little place. And I've got, links in bio.
Okay,
That'll
good.
take you to all the other places.
She's got to figure it out. So yeah, absolutely check her out on the Instagram. And Emily, thank you so much for being here. This was such a good time.
Yeah, this
I'm
was
so happy
fun.
you overcame the nerves to do this. And yeah, I'm happy to have another good friend here in town. So thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. This was
all
fun.
Right. And for everybody listening out there, thank you so much for joining us this week. Can't wait to see you next week back here at Maybe You're Lucky.